I think critical thinking has influenced my research to the extent that it has pointed out things that are superficial and kind of irrelevant and really shown me how to see something more important in them. Having stats on the unemployment rates of people of color or the rates of HIV and AIDS infections in queer men, I think that they can tell us something, but I don't think you have a clear portrait of those objects of study if you only use that knowledge to understand them.
With my own personal research, I'm currently focusing on speculative fiction and graphic novels and looking specifically at war and violence and American exceptionalism within comic books. So using critical thinking allows me to kind of interrogate the images and the stories that I'm reading and see how throughout culture we're taught a certain perspective on war and violence and how to basically treat people that are painted as other.
In my research, I look at scratching as a behavioral indicator of positive and negative arousal in common marmosets, these little monkeys. People generally accept scratching as a behavioral indicator of anxiety. So after reading the research, I realized that it may not just be anxiety that's causing scratching. Maybe it's excitement, and so we call that positive arousal. And so I devised, again, creative methods to try to answer this question.
Everything around us is shaped and shaping a certain perspective, and it's difficult sometimes to understand exactly where these narratives are trying to guide the public.
I think literature and film and artistic creations can tell us a lot more about the ways that those men actually live their lives, the ways that they actually experience them.
Before I started research, I was very much like, oh, you tell me it's this way, so that must be the way that it is. And so now, after years of doing research, critical thinking has become a habit. My parents would be like, oh, this is how it works, and this is what you do, and then your professors, sort of raised that way. And then, you start this training, and maybe I need to think for myself a little bit more about what this means, or, drawing your own conclusions. Questioning other people, I learned is okay.